Coach, you want to start with Stan?
Yeah, you never know what to expect coming off Christmas break. The guys were home 22, 23, 24, and back on the 25th, and we had a short workout Christmas night and then a practice yesterday. So we certainly showed the effects with some sloppiness at times. But that, for the most part, our shot selection was good. Defensively, some of the things that we've been stressing in practice were much better, and obviously we did a really good job on the backboards, and we're much better on the free throw line. So a lot of good signs and some positive things to build on, and also some things we need to clean up before we start conference play.
Questions for the student athletes?
I guess for both guys, what did you see, maybe in these last couple of games too, because I guess you had 18 turnovers against Oklahoma as well, but just in terms of the miscues and the giveaways, I guess, in terms of how many of them you can live with, and because you guys play pretty fast, versus how many of them are probably things you guys can shore up before Big East play starts?
Pretty much. Obviously, everyone knows our style of play. We play fast and we do everything like consistent and everything. But I think we just need to slow down a little bit, stop panicking. We get 5 seconds. We just sit there and just don't even take advantage of that. But all that is just going to sit there and work on during practice. Maybe we might sit there and do a drill to sit there and work on that. But the biggest thing, we just need to stop panicking and just relax. And we also need to find ways to sit there and get open, too, so we can stop turning that ball over.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we get caught in situations where we're trying to make the right play, but the setup, can be lazy, or, we're not maybe cutting as hard. But and sometimes even myself, we're, just staring the guy down. And just simple turnovers like that add up. And I think we'll definitely, start to clean it up before the conference play starts.
Specifically tonight, Davion, what you guys turned it over early, but then settled in. Was that the layoff, their pressure? What do you think led to the early turnovers and your ability to clean it up, at least for that stretch where you built a lead?
Yeah, for us, we want to play fast, but starting out, that the coaches prepared us for the full court pressure and on ball pressure, but just got to keep working on getting open, setting guys up. But once the halftime came and the coaches spoke to us, we knew more pressure was coming, and just to try to settle down and just try to get open, set guys up.
Defensively, they had a lot of quickness out there, a lot of attempts at penetration that you guys were able to cut off quite a bit. How much, how pleased are you with your effort tonight in that regard?
A lot better. The communication is starting to pick up, and just lately we've been trying to take pride defensively, cutting guys off, making sure we're there in the help side for our teammate. Just everything is starting to come together, build up defensively. We want to keep trying to do that, especially as we head towards the conference.
We only got 23s tonight, but 46 points in the paint, got to the free throw line. Did you guys, because of how they regarded you, you were able to adjust to that, I guess? Do you feel like that's an adjustment just based on how much experience you guys are getting playing with each other? Do you feel like you guys would have made that adjustment earlier in the season?
Yeah. Obviously, everyone knows that we live by the three. But today we really focus on getting to the paint, trying to set our feet. In the first half, we really didn't do it. But as far as the second half coming, we really got a lot of people open shots. And that's what it mostly takes. Pretty much during conference play, when it gets to start, we had to sit there and watch film, see how they defend the ball. And obviously, we're going to set our feet a lot more. And pretty much it's just going to win games for us in the long run as well.
Yeah, we have some really good players on the team that know that, of course, we want to make the three, shoot the three, but if guys are crowding your space, you got to penetrate, get downhill, and make a read after that. You finish it yourself or find an open guy. But the initial play is a three for us, but if they're there, just keep going past them.
You guys drill a lot penetrate, jump stop, spray? Like how
Every day.
practice.
Every day.
Every practice.
Really?
how much is that becoming or close to becoming muscle memory at this point with how often you guys practice it?
Why don't you answer that
Obviously, he got on me that first time because I ain't set my feet. But I can't even say it. I mean, it's just pretty much it's a muscle memory thing. Obviously, when you do it one time and they deflect the ball or you turn the ball over, obviously you know you're supposed to set your feet again. Instead of sitting there driving and then not setting your feet, kicking it out, and it's going to be a deflection. But it works. It most definitely works.
Two more.
I'm just curious, Davion, how you thought the team reacted to just UMKC. They tried to slow the tempo down. I mean, their possessions were really long, and it forced you guys to defend for longer possessions and maybe take some of the steam out of your transition. How do you think that you guys adjusted to that part of their strategy?
Yeah, I mean, we were prepared for it, and that's kind of what the scout team did. Credit to them. We knew that we had to guard at least for 25 seconds. I mean, they were going to slow us down. And, I mean, teams know our style, and we know that we have to improve defensively every game, make strides, because they're going to do stuff like that. And, I mean, that was their style, but we had guys that stepped up, did well with it, and we just got to keep going from there.
This will be your third time around going into conference play. I guess compared to years past, a different team, but how well prepared do you think you guys are as conference play starts?
I think we'll be just fine. We're looking forward to get our first road win, and I think we will. I have confidence in the team, the strategy that the coaches are going to put together, and we'll just have to see Monday.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Questions for Coach?
What about you, as far as prepared for conference play?
Probably not quite as confident as Davion is, but I think that's typical of most coaches. We're getting better, and there have been signs. Really, in our last three games, Green Bay, and even though we lost at Oklahoma, we actually did some pretty good things defensively in that game at times, and then again tonight. And that has to continue, and it's a slippery slope in that we're spending a lot of time on defense in practice, trying to get better and trying to get repetitions. That I sometimes where I'm not spending as much time on the offensive end as we need to, because that's really who we are. But our defense needs to just give us a chance to win the game and let our offense take over. And but we got 9 assists, 3 turnovers out of our point guards tonight. That's really good basketball. Mitch Ballack doesn't take a shot, but yet I thought he impacted the game in a huge way. Got some rebounds, 6 rebounds, gets 5 assists. But that's kind of who Mitch is. He doesn't really care. He just wants to win. So Martin, I think, continues to show signs of returning to his old form. So hopefully that continues. It's an important 3 or 4 days of preparation as we lead up to Providence.
You mentioned Mitch there, but unofficially, I didn't think he allowed anything defensively. I mean, did he take a step forward tonight, given how much he struggled in that area so far?
Excuse me. Yeah, I thought he did some really good things, and as you know, as you've been at practice, I've been hard on him because I think there's more there. I think he understands the game. I think he cares about the game. I think he respects the game. He's. As a coaching staff, we have to simplify it for him as best we can. He's watched a lot of film, and it's good to see a guy like that who's known as a scorer be able to impact the game defensively on the backboards and with the pass. That's a sign, hopefully, of good things to come.
Some of those early turnovers, you just sort of.
I don't know what we were doing. I really don't. We prepared for the pressure, and. Some of them are really inexplicable. Some of the decisions we made, trying to throw a pass that's going to get through 1 out of 5 times. It looks great if it does. The other 4 times it's going the other way. And just mishandled some catches. There's some that were pretty good passes that guys bobbled or we threw it over their head. And then we traveled 3 or 4 times. We just have to continue to clean it up. When you have a young team, you're going to have some areas that aren't perfect, and That's an area that's not perfect, and I'm not good with, because our teams really haven't turned it over much in the past, and we have to get back to that.
29 out of 33 defensive rebounds. Obviously, you want that number. That's kind of a little high, but I mean, do you think you guys are making strides in that area before finishing possessions?
I have to watch the film, to see if we're doing our job, tagging guys when we have to tag them, and but I thought our rebounding, I thought our protection at the rim was better at times. Martine was better. Christian did a good job. Sam, the second half, blocked a couple shots, rotated over, and those are things that we have to have. We haven't had much of that, and without Jake, he was the best on our team at that. So these guys are going to have to step in and do as good a job as they can.
It does seem like your guys have sort of like, I mean, you and your staff have stressed a lot of the details, and it seems like, as you noted, that there are signs of improvement, and it seems like the guys have really sort of bought into the message that you've.
Well, it's kind of like I talked about after the co-game. Like, they know what to do. They're to the point where they understand it. Now it's just on the fly. Is it a habit, or do I still have to think about it? You could ask all of them. Where should I be in this situation? They could look at the film and say, well, I should have been there. I shouldn't have done that. I mean, they know it immediately because it's been repped enough. Now it's doing it live and getting used to it. And sometimes when you have to leave your man and rotate to help, you're taking a leap of faith, hoping that your teammate sinks down on your guy when you leave, and that's a hard thing to do sometimes, because if I leave and my guy gets a dunk, who looks bad? It's me. So it's just trusting the system and trusting your teammates and understanding the importance of communication. That has gotten better, and as I told the team before the game today, our communication has been better in practice than it has been in games, and that can't happen. We do it in practice. We demand it in practice because it's so important in games, and it's getting better. We're getting there. We're improving, and I think I'm going to be saying this the end of February, that we're improving. We're getting better, and this is we want to try to get as many wins as we can in this league, and it's not going to be easy, but this is also a group of guys we're going to have together for a while, so we have to make sure that we're not taking shortcuts that maybe help us in the short term but don't get us where we want to be the end of February and into March.
You're through it now, and maybe it's easier to answer at this point, but I mean, I think your non-conference strength of schedule is in the top 10, depending on where you look. I mean, how much did the schedule you put together and the games you played, even though you didn't win probably the games you thought would make a difference on a resume, but in terms of like how much they would amplify mistakes that you guys make against quality teams, prepare you for what you're going to face?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that, a couple things. We didn't have a lot of games like tonight where you can play your bench. We had we had this one, Western Illinois, maybe at the very end. But other than that, Georgia State, maybe the last 8 minutes of the game. But that's about it. So we didn't really have the luxury of just putting guys out there and letting them play through stuff because our schedule was so good. But everybody talks that the Clemson win is kind of the marquee win, and it is. I think Clemson's going to win a lot of games before it's all over. But I think East Tennessee State's going to win a lot of games. I think Montana's going to win a lot of games. So I think before it's all over, I think a couple of those wins are going to be better than people think. And I think the 4 teams we lost to, I think they're top 25 teams are going to be in the NCAA tournament. So I would have liked to pick off another 1 or 2 of those. But I think, to answer your question, I think we're better today having played those 4 games instead of just playing 2 of those games and playing two cupcakes, and we're 10-2 now instead of 11 because of what we've done and who we've played.
2 more for Coach.
I just wonder what your sort of read is on with Davion, because it seems like as he settles into the game, it's not every game, but there have been a number of games where he's maybe started slow, and then once he's found his rhythm, he's really produced on. And tonight it was both ends.
Yeah, he's embraced what we've asked him to do defensively, which has been good to see. Excuse me, got a sneeze coming. And then offensively, Davion was a scorer in high school. And an AU, that's his DNA. So we're asking him to be a point guard that also can score. And there's a transformation that takes place. And I thought he did an unbelievable job of it last year. And tonight I thought he got back 6 assists, 2 turnovers. That's the kind of basketball we need from Davion. And then pick your spots when you got an open shot. Nobody's telling you can't shoot it, but shoot good ones, shoot open ones. He was aggressive. He got the free throw line 4 times. But we have to find a way to get him off the ball some if he's going to guard the other team's best player. It's very difficult to run the show and have the responsibility on your shoulders to make sure you know where everybody's at. You're fighting pressure coming up the floor, and then you got to go guard their stud. That's hard to do. So we've got to find ways to maybe ease the pressure on him some on the offensive end so that he can do what he has to do defensively.
With the rim protection you guys want to improve at and the defensive rebounding, how close is Martin to maybe back to where he was at that level last year in terms of how effective he can be in those 2 areas of the game?
Yeah, it's 3 games in a row now where his activity level has been better, and what we're asking him to do on those ball screens, where he's out there running to half court and sprinting back. I mean, that is exhausting. So he's able to do that. He's able to rebound at the same time. I've just got to get him off the floor every 3 or 4 minutes, catch his breath, and get him back in. And hopefully Christian and Sam, for now, can keep doing some good things when they go in the game. But he's getting closer. We thought it might be the first of the year. We talked about that when practice started in September, and here we are creeping up to January 1st, and he's starting to get back into form.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Happy New Year.